The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
Good evening and welcome to BronxTalk. Like many shopping districts in the Bronx, the one on Southern Boulevard is trying to find new ways of building business and encouraging Bronxites to spend their hard-earned dollars in the Bronx where they can do the most good. So tonight's guests have launched a new website for Southern Boulevard, and even more important, are laying the groundwork for future growth and are paving a road that might be valuable for other Bronx merchant groups to follow. The Director of Community Development at WEDCO, the Women's Housing and Urban Development Corporation, is Carrie McLean. Good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening. Thank you.
And also on the telephone tonight from Yarobi Clothing and Accessories is the Vice President of the Southern Boulevard Merchant Association, Abdu Yahya. Good evening, Abdu. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good, good. Thank you for joining us. We're going to start here with Carrie in the studio, and then we'll chat with you if you don't mind. Carrie, let's start with you.
Yes.
First of all, what is the relationship of WEDCO to this burgeoning Merchants Association on Southern Boulevard?
So WEDCO has been working in the Southern Boulevard neighborhood for a few years. We actually have an affordable housing development nearby. And we began to survey the neighborhood to assess what the needs were among residents in the neighborhood as well as businesses in the neighborhood. So from that surveying effort, the need for an organization to represent Southern Boulevard merchants arose, and thus we worked with merchants to form the association.
How many businesses are in the area? I mean, give me and, of course, our viewers the scope of what exactly we're talking about.
So it's a 1 mile area between East 174th Street down to Westchester Avenue at Simpson Street, and there are approximately 123 businesses and organizations in the neighborhood.
That's a significant number. It's it's one of those things where gee, there's a lot of businesses here, but that number 123 is large. Abdul, let's bring you into the conversation. Tell me about your business and what the issues are for your business that helped you and your colleagues there on Southern Boulevard to form this association.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. Did you hear my question?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about your business and what it is in your business that kind of spurred you on and inspired you to start this Merchants Association.
In Southern Boulevard, we do a lot of business there. Clothes, shoes.
Okay.
And phone cards, hats, T-shirts, sunglasses.
I got it. With the 123...
We sell a lot of things in Southern Boulevard. We appreciate that association. You help us to grow up our business in Southern Boulevard. We invite all Bronx community to visit us at Southern Boulevard every weekend, every day. We appreciate to see them. That's what I have to say now.
Right. Explain to me what the problems are for businesses in that area.
What's the question again?
I said, what are the problems of businesses in that area? In other words, what
in Southern Boulevard, we located at 1158 Southern Boulevard.
Yeah, I know that, but maybe he's not understanding. Hang on there, Abdu, and we'll chat with Carrie here in the studio. Explain to me what the problems are of the businesses in that area.
So in surveying businesses, we went store to store and spoke to the businesses on Southern Boulevard. And in surveying them, one of the main issues that they were having was attracting residents, attracting shoppers to the district. There are people who live in the area and have lived in the area for a long time, and there are also new members who are moving into the neighborhood because of new affordable housing construction that's going on. But a lot of people weren't looking to Southern Boulevard as a place to shop, and so that's one of the reasons why we helped the merchants to form the association, as well as to launch southernboulevard.org, which is the new website that represents the district.
Talk to me about the nature of businesses. Can I assume that they're mom and pop businesses? Are there franchises? Is there a mixture? You really characterize it so people who might not be familiar with the area can get familiar with the area.
There's a mixture, but predominantly it's mom and pop businesses. So most are 1 to 2 person operations, ranging from hair salons to bodegas to clothing stores like Abdu Yaya's store, as well as convenience stores as well. You know, there's a lot of variety on Southern Boulevard. There are a lot of services on Southern Boulevard as well, from nonprofit organizations that provide health services to others. And so there's a really broad mixture of organizations on Southern Boulevard.
How are the businesses doing? I mean, I know that businesses and small businesses throughout the Bronx and really everywhere are having problems. But tell me how the businesses are doing. Are they struggling? Are they doing okay? And of course, everybody wants more business. Where are they at right now?
It's a tough time for businesses. Businesses on Southern Boulevard continue to, you know, just take whatever effort and strategies they can to attract customers to their stores. The economic situation, of course, has affected how much money people have to spend, and they're spending it as prudently as possible. And so what we're trying to do is to help Southern Boulevard businesses, since they are in the neighborhood, to reach out to customers, to potential residents in the neighborhood to shop in their stores.
Are there empty stores on Southern Boulevard?
There are empty stores on Southern Boulevard
so there's
as well.
Opportunities as well for other people to open businesses, but of course you can't attract people to open a business if there's not good activity and there's not a good sense of commerce down there.
Well, one thing that we have found out, because we've done economic analyses in the area, and one thing we found out is that there are $146 million that's leaking out of the neighborhood. So people are shopping. They're just not necessarily shopping on Southern Boulevard right now.
That's a very important number. How much money again?
$146 million.
Per year?
Per year.
When you say leaking, I have a sense of what you might be referring to, but why don't you tell me what that means?
People are spending money outside of the neighborhood. So they are shopping, they're just not shopping in the neighborhood. So we worked with a consultant, JGSC Group, with the help of the New York City Department of Small Business Services. And they ran these analyses of different categories, sales categories, retail sales. And they saw, based on the population in the neighborhood, as well as the income in the neighborhood, what people in the neighborhood were spending outside, in a quarter-mile radius, a half-mile radius, and a one-mile radius around Southern Boulevard. And from those analyses, $146 million is being spent outside of the neighborhood.
I'm just going to guess now. Groceries, clothing, you know, we can go electronics, all of the above, right?
Exactly.
Do those services...
Barbershop.
Say it again?
The barbershop.
Barbershop, hair salons, and all those kinds of things. What, Abdu, what in your mind would make people want to shop and in the Bronx on Southern Boulevard and spend that money where you are, as opposed to taking that money and spending it elsewhere?
For me, we want to grow the area like how other areas movement. We want Southern Boulevard have a good activity for the people to come. Don't go out of Southern Boulevard. Have to appreciate Southern Boulevard shopping. That's what we are. That's our goal now, to let people to stay in the area and shopping in the area.
Right. So the idea is to keep the money there. What will attract some of the? And again, we're not talking about people from the outside. It'd be great if people from the outside would spend money, but we're really addressing Bronxites now.
Exactly.
What would it take, or what will it take, do you think, to keep Bronxites from spending outside of the neighborhood and keep it in the neighborhood?
So it's a combination of things. Some of the things that we're doing is exactly raising the profile of the businesses that currently exist in the area. So southernboulevard.org has a list of all of the businesses on Southern Boulevard. We also have a hard copy business directory that's available as well. And, you know, just marketing through newsletters and through raffles and other events that merchants come together to have. They have coordinated sales.
I think the idea of a website, and this is to me one of the central reasons why I wanted to do this, I know the Daily News wrote about it, why I wanted to do this on the show. The idea of a merchant association setting up a website is a very good one. There's just a kind of a generic picture. But Jane, if we have their website, I'd like to put up their website on the screen. That would be, there's some of the pictures, but I'd like to see the website. Tell me about what it took to launch the website, because I really want to kind of talk to other people in the Bronx and other merchant districts in the Bronx to let them understand what's possible about it. So give me some of the background about this website.
So one of the first things we did, as I mentioned, is to survey merchants in the neighborhood. And one of the key things they said was that they wanted to have a really distinctive character and identity for the neighborhood. And so the southernboulevard.org website was an avenue to, you know, assuming that character and that identity or creating it. So the next thing that we did was we applied to the New York City Department of Small Business Services for technical assistance to create the website.
So they, see, this is another reason why I wanted to kind of make it somewhat educational for our other business owners. You don't necessarily have to do this alone. There might be technical assistance out there. They provided what? They specifically provided a webmaster and a designer? Exactly.
They provided you could say a designer for the website, and we provided all the content. We provided guidance in terms of the color scheme, the tone of the website, creating a logo. You know, the Southern Boulevard merchants, one of the merchants on the boulevard created the logo for the Southern Boulevard Merchant Association, which is featured on the website as well. And so, you know, just working with that technical assistance consultant, we put that together.
You know, I want to go into the website for a second, but so people can see that right now. When did it launch, and have you seen a difference in, maybe not a boost in business, but at least the nature of commerce as a result of putting that website up?
So the website launched officially in June, toward the end of June.
It's a little soon,
yes,
really,
it's very early. It's still very early, and one of the reasons why we're so grateful for being on this show is that it will, you know, just let other people know about the website. It's a way for communicating that information.
And one of the things I loved, and I have to admit, it looks to me like it still needs to be developed, but Jane, if we can put that up there, when you click on, let's say, stores, it lists, each store has its own little spot on there.
Exactly.
I think that's very, very helpful.
Exactly. You can actually see where the store is on a map as well, so you're able to locate them.
How many of us, when we say, okay, for example, I'm buying clothes for my kids you know, for school, will say, where in my neighborhood can I get, you know, school uniforms or school clothes? And you do that, and all of a sudden, Yonkers pops up, you know, a shopping mall in New Jersey pops up, but you say, gee, all right, I guess, you know, honey, I guess we got to go somewhere else. And now there's a chance that it'll pop up with Southern Boulevard.
With Southern Boulevard, yes, exactly. So all you have to do is go to www.southernboulevard.org, spelled out, or southernblvd.org, and it will take you to the website. Right.
And there you can see, on the screen, folks can see the strip, and then there's a place where you can, I think if you scroll down a little bit, you can click some of the businesses that are below that map, and you know, you can then pick up each individual business. The one thing it looks like, the stores themselves are going to need to build their own web infrastructure.
Exactly. As the website
there's that list of stores,
gets more feet and more teeth and more attention, the goal will be to have pictures of each of the stores on the website so people can actually see what the stores look like even before they head out to the boulevard to shop.
Is this modeled after anything else, or did you folks say, you know what, we figured this out, this is how we want to do it?
So this is about the second or third year that the Department of Small Business Services has offered this kind of support to districts. And so what we did was looked at some of the other districts across New York City that have taken advantage of this program, and we pulled ideas from those. Is there a good example of one? I mean,
not that we want to shop there. No, we're going to keep it here in the BX. But.
I think that the WAFA website, Washington Avenue Prospect Heights Association in Brooklyn,
they did a good job with it.
Yeah, that's a good example of a very interactive site that has different events. And you know, as seen on our side as well, we do have a lot of community events on the website, because it's about building community as well, building community among merchants as well as among residents, and just restoring that pride of place in Southern Boulevard.
When a bid is established in many of the communities in the Bronx where a bid is established, the merchants have to put up some money, and it becomes a financial commitment. Did merchants have to put up any money to help launch this, or is it really? I mean, you got the website, and that was a good start.
The website is the start. It's really a grassroots.
So they didn't. I mean,
they didn't
this
have
is
to.
Again. You know, everybody says, "Oh, let's have a bid in our area," but then everybody has to pony up or whatever it is. You know, I forget the numbers off the top of my head. But you're saying in this case it was really a matter of getting people together.
Right, and in this case, this is how this association started. Everyone does not start in the same way. Some start as biz, some start as associations. This particular neighborhood started as an the group started as an association.
Right.
And perhaps later on down the line, as they increase services, increase the provision of services to merchants, they will choose to contribute funds to for the upkeep of the website or for
Which
other
will
services.
be easier because as opposed to selling them off a dream one day, hopefully you'll be kind of convincing them, gee, look, you've gotten an increase in business, now maybe you can do better if you invest something, which is, of course, the nature of really any good commerce.
Exactly.
Let's, Jane has some pictures that she wants to show us, and let's show some of the photographs up there,
Sure.
just to get a sense, which I have to tell you, they just showed them to me before the show. They really look fantastic. So, Jane, pop some of these pictures up here so we can take a look at, there we go. So this is the barbershop that Abdu was referring to. Just scroll through them. Let's see what we can see. Now, what is this?
This is a mural, just celebrating the Bronx and Bronx music. This is a mural just
That's
off of
on
Southern
there.
Boulevard.
Okay. So that's our home and our culture.
Creativity and arts. This is Nature's Garden Beauty Supply. They make and sell soaps and summer dresses and just candles. It's really a broad array of
And when you could
goods.
go to a big store like that, that sells that kind of stuff, and that's one thing. But here is Bronx people with selected goods that that probably relate better to us and our lifestyle as opposed to somebody
big
from
store.
the out of town.
Exactly, and it's really personalized service. I mean, you go into these merchant stores and you really feel that you become one of them. You are a part of the family. They know you by name. They can call you by name.
And this is beautiful.
This is the Bakery Shop and Gallery. It's a clothing store. It's like an art gallery and clothing store. They actually make their own clothing.
You see, folks, this is why I'm sending you to Southern Boulevard. That's what I'm serious about that. This is the kind of thing you get in the Bronx and on Southern Boulevard. You could go, and I don't care where the mall is, in New Jersey or somewhere, but you're not going to see a place like this. And, of course, if you want to get the latest Bronx paraphernalia, now, where is this?
This is the bakery as well.
Oh, this is the bakery.
They very much celebrate the Bronx and Bronx arts, and that's their.
Well, you know what? I want to give them a free plug. I love what I saw. I got to get down there. What is the name of this place?
It's called the Bakery Shop and Gallery, and their website is thebakerynyc.com.
The Bakery NYC, and they have the Bronx T-shirts and
you
the
can
whole
actually
thing.
shop online as well in
And
their store.
I hate to ask, it's a bakery. I mean, do they sell cupcakes? We're getting shirts, we're getting art galleries. Are there cupcakes and other things?
They don't sell cupcakes.
They don't sell. Okay. I don't know what they sell in the bakery then. Now, what is this?
This is actually the Western Beef supermarket. They expanded
Okay.
recently, and so their deli section is really chock full of goodies.
Chock full of goodies,
Yes.
and it looks like even natural foods and all
Yes.
that kind of stuff. Jane, I love this. We got some more? Show us some more of these. I'm having a great time. Okay, we got some? Or did I use up all the pictures? Oh, there we go. Now, what is this?
That's the outside of the Western Beef supermarket.
With plenty of free parking.
Yes, there is.
All right, what else we got?
Yeah.
Okay, so outdoor fruits.
Exactly,
Now,
fruit
what
and
is
vegetable
this?
selection.
Look how beautiful that is.
That's the Nature's Garden Beauty Supply store, so that's on the outside. You can see some of the summer dresses as well as some of the items in the windows that
Okay.
they sell.
Are you okay with showing these pictures? These are great, right?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Let's go. Keep going. Oh, that was it. Some of the photographs, and I wanted to ask you about the concept which you had brought, which we didn't show yet, but you can kind of see it maybe even in this postcard, of the idea of street merchants. Now, many of the shopping districts and business districts don't like street merchants because, of course, people are spending dollars with somebody who just got a license to sell for the day, and then they don't sell in the stores. There's a picture of that same postcard.
Yes.
What is the nature of the street merchant business on Southern Boulevard? Is it helpful? Is it useful? One, to the merchants. Two, to the merchants who, are they making money? Two, to the consumers. And three, of course, does it get in the way of the folks who run the stores?
So what merchants have told us is that the more the merrier. The more vendors there are, the more foot traffic it is to Southern Boulevard, and therefore there's spillover effects to the stores themselves.
So it really is kind of part of the appeal of it.
Exactly.
All right, we got some more photos. I love these pictures. Jane said she's got a couple. Now, what is this?
This is La Mission Furniture discount store.
Oh, you see, I thought you were going to tell me this was the street in Larchmont. A beautiful, small, comfortable little street.
Yes.
Where you could go in and look at all the unique stores. I mean,
Yes.
I'm assuming that's the kind of feel you want to give this strip in the big city, right?
Exactly. It's there's a diversity of products and services that people can take advantage of in a small area.
Right. This is an interesting thing. Of course, unfortunately, frankly, people don't always have a lot of money.
Right.
But, there are many of our neighborhoods have thrift stores of this type, not necessarily only Salvation Army, but also it's for the low budget, and there's plenty of good stuff in there.
Exactly. There's something in it for everyone. You can, get furniture as well as clothing.
Tell me about what else, or do you have visions of doing other things other than promoting the commerce? I mean, you talked about building community. Tell me about what that means in a shopping district. Of course, the community, we want to spend a couple of dollars, but tell me what else that might mean in this particular case.
So the really wonderful thing about the elected officers of the Southern Boulevard Merchant Association is that they're really focused on connecting with the community members, not just as shoppers, but just for that sense of community and cohesion that comes from being in a neighborhood that they're proud of. And so it involves having community events.
Like what?
Whether it be there are a couple of parks, small parks on Southern Boulevard, and so one of the things that they have been talking about is having an event with music, having different maybe tables for activities like food demos, just to give back to the community as well. And Crotona Park is just in the neighborhood as well, just a couple of blocks over from Southern Boulevard. So that's a big attraction too. So that's why one of the things that we do on Southern Boulevard's website is to showcase the community events in the neighborhood. We want people to get out of their homes. We want them to get onto Southern Boulevard. We want them to go to the parks. We want them to take advantage of, this beautiful, wonderful summer. It's been really hot, but when you go to the parks, you're able to cool down. If you go into a store, you're able to cool down. So we just want people to patronize the neighborhood.
And do you think that will have an effect on the businesses? Listen, we all have a beautiful day in the park. We have a beautiful day in our Bronx parks. But you see, and WEDCO, and of course the Merchant Association sees an association with that.
There are some parks that are on Southern Boulevard. There are 2 parks on Southern Boulevard. So the more people are walking, they're passing by stores. If there's a destination for them, whether it be a park or it's a store, they're passing by other stores. They'll be more inclined to go in.
Do you have a sense of projections of what you expect to see out of this? I mean, certainly you've gone about this, and frankly, I'm impressed that you've gone about it scientifically. It isn't like, hey, let's launch a website and see what happens. But tell me about what you really hope to see, and maybe you can even give us some numbers about what the businesses have generated, how much of that 146 million you want to capture. Just give us some context for that.
Our goal right now is can't really be communicated in dollars, but more in terms of types of stores attracted. And so, as I mentioned before, there are a few categories of retail that are missing from the neighborhood. And so the goal will be to, 1, attract more of those businesses to the neighborhood, and thus, again, help people to spend more of their money locally, and that have spillover effects for the existing merchants as well. Some of the existing merchants are providing the products that there needs to be more of. I was going to ask you to give me
an example.
For example, furniture. So we know that
so
furniture.
No furniture store.
There is. There are 1 or 2 furniture stores in the neighborhood, but the neighborhood needs more, and so that's why people are still spending money outside of the neighborhood.
Because they're not able to service all the needs.
Exactly. So the more of kind of like a cluster of businesses that the area is able to attract, then the more spillover effects that will have for everyone.
We've had this discussion, and in my mind, sometimes it's a balance that you have to strike, and I don't hear that balance, that you also want to bring in the big dollars and some of the franchises into the community. I mean, listen, we love our mom and pop stores, but you want to attract franchises. Number 1, are there franchises? And number 2, have there been dialogue with some franchises about bringing them in? And number 3, of course, what's it going to take?
So there is, off the top of my head, there is a Dunkin' Donuts in the neighborhood. That's a franchise. BX Sports is coming to the neighborhood. It's not a franchise. It's actually a small business here in the Bronx. So there are a few franchises in the neighborhood, not a lot. The neighborhood is still very much a mom and pop character. And those are, businesses that have held on through the high years and through the low years, and they continue to hold on. So we really want to respect that mom and pop character of the neighborhood and encourage people to shop at those stores.
So that's really the emphasis. And of course, if you attract, I don't even want to suggest who it might be, but you don't want it to be somebody who's going to compete with them and obviously may be able to compete better because they have better resources. So it sounds to me like you're going in the other direction.
So the goal would be to complement what is there, whether it be through a franchise or another kind of business, but the idea is to enhance what is there, not take away from it.
Among the other considerations, and I mentioned earlier about launching a bid, among the other considerations when you launch a bid is that those, the tax, so to speak, that you pay helps you with security and helps you with cleanup. Talk to me about this process and how you and the Merchant Association will address sanitation and safety and some of those other things.
So in assessing the needs in the neighborhood, again, these are some of the issues that have arisen, is that people and merchants as well are looking for just to enhance the quality of life in the neighborhood. And so we, with the Southern Boulevard Merchant Association, are in talks with the NYPD. We've been in constant conversation with the NYPD over the past couple of years. And we've held a community cleanup as well with the Department of Sanitation. Over 80 people came out to clean up Southern Boulevard.
I'm guessing the police department's thrilled to talk to one person in one voice to get it all done as opposed to every merchant calling. Let's put up, and if you would review for us the website. Jane has a nice thing we're going to put up with the website on it, and let's urge everybody to come to Southern Boulevard and all the other businesses. This is a good way to do it. So tell me all about, there's wedco.org, but also we have the Southern Boulevard website. Tell me what that is.
Yes, so the website is www.southernboulevard.org,
right,
and is the online presence of Southern Boulevard merchants and the community overall. And it features news events, community events, merchants. If there are sales events, it will feature that. There are newsletters as well.
And I'm going to jump in and say, folks, take a walk down Southern Boulevard, pop your head into the stores, have a couple of dollars in your pocket when you do it. And also when it comes time to buying the kids clothes for school and everything else, whether you live down there or not, if you live in another neighborhood, take a trip to Southern Boulevard. How was that?
That sounds wonderful.
Carrie McLean from Wedco, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And folks, if you have further comments or questions on anything you heard on tonight's show or anything going on in the Bronx, then email them to us at BronxTalk@hotmail.com, and we'll read those on the air during a future edition of our program. Archives of Bronx Talk available at our website, BronxNet.org. You click Bronx Talk on the right-hand navigation bar, and you can find us there. And we'll see you next Monday night and every Monday night at 9 for Bronx Talks. Thanks to producer Jane Folloro, director Michael Arias, Dina, William, and our cast of thousands who are around us and up in the booth. And to you, good night.
Thank you.
Hey, how's it going?
Sir, are you okay?
What? Oh, this? It's probably nothing. I'm sure it'll go away.
Go away? But, sir, that can't be good.
No, it's cool, really.
Do you want a napkin or something?
Everything's fine. Thanks.
You wouldn't ignore this, so why ignore the signs of a stroke? At the first warning signs, call 911 immediately, because time lost is brain lost.